Now, Delhi continues to fight for right to breathe amid rising pollution levels. The capital's air pollution levels have been ranging between poor to very poor category for the last few days. Here's our detailed report on that.
Toxic air pollution, difficulty in breathing, burning sensation in eyes, smog blanketing the sky. Delhi's air continues to be hazardous. With smog engulfing the capital, the rising pollution levels have now become a big cause of worry once again. For the last 4 days, the air quality index in Delhi has either been in poor or very poor category. According to the Central Pollution Control Board, the air quality index of the national capital stood at 343 on Saturday, which is 3 times above the normal level.
We'll try and show you the air quality index, and it is, as you can see, in the very poor category. It's 338. And if we go by the government agencies, they are saying that as we are approaching the Diwali season, the air quality index of the national capital and the NCR is only going to dip.
Government agencies say that the air quality will dip further in the days to come. Areas like Munka, Wazirpur and Alipur recorded severe levels of air pollution. By Friday, 10 monitoring stations of Delhi had already entered the severe zone. Farm fires are also contributing to the rising pollution levels. Stubble burning in neighbouring states of Punjab, Haryana and parts of western Uttar Pradesh is a major factor behind Delhi's polluted air. The Ministry of Earth Sciences Air Quality Monitor suffers. Data suggests that more than 1,000 farm fires were spotted on Friday in the neighbouring states, contributing 17% to Delhi's polluted air, which was 7 times higher than Thursday's contribution percentage.
All throughout the day, the air quality continues to be above 300, which is hazardous level of air to breathe in. And despite the government's initiatives, crackdowns by the CPCB, ending of garbage and biomass burning, stubble burning continues in neighbouring areas, even as the air quality continues to worsen in the coming days. With Shakil Ahmed, Milan Sharma for India Today.
Well, we have our reporters joining us, Tanushree Pandey live from Delhi, Milan Sharma from Delhi as well, to give us a glimpse into what really is the situation on ground. Tanushree, I'll start with you. What did you see right from the morning to now? How's the air quality? It's really stuffy. I myself drove past. Give us the situation and what's been the air quality index today?
Well, that's right, Nabila, and in fact, it's become an yearly ritual where the air quality index of the national capital starts deteriorating post the month of September, and this year it's no exception. All through the day, we have been keeping a very close track at the air quality index of the national capital, Nabila, and you will be shocked to know that it was above 300, as mentioned by Milan. It was recorded at 336 in the areas like Mayur Vihar and Akshardham. In fact, the 10 monitoring zones of the national capital entered the severe zone of the air quality index, and where we are standing right now, this is Mayur Vihar. This is a residential area in the national capital, infamous for its poor air quality index, and all through the day, Nabila, the air quality index of this particular area was in a very poor category. So the Delhi government has been saying that it's doing its best, it is doing all it can to make sure that the air quality remains intact. I think it has become a yearly ritual in the national capital that despite all the crackdown, despite all the initiatives by the government, the air quality has ultimately come down to the very poor category. And if we go by the Central Pollution Control Board and the government agencies, they are saying that as we are approaching the Diwali season, the air quality is only going to dip further. So let's see how the government is going to tackle it, because as of now, it's in the very poor category and extremely unhealthy for the people of the
Absolutely.
Delhi and NCR.
Tanushree, let me take it to Milan. Milan, as we hear Tanushree says, the government is doing all it can. Do you believe that the government is doing enough? Have they taken all measures, considering that we're in the midst of a raging COVID-19 pandemic situation only could aggravate serious health complications? We hear that asthma patients are suffering during this period. The Delhi pollution has really resulted in a rush of patients to doctors. Now, what has the government really done to crack down on those polluting the air? Of course, vehicles, the traffic is all back on streets now that the lockdown has been lifted. Apart from that, any concrete measure, apart from just the odd even scheme that the government is putting on ground?
Well, Nabila, the government hasn't really come forward and spoken about the odd and even scheme yet. But when we spoke to the Delhi government, they did say that they hope it doesn't come down to that. Currently, the Delhi government has started a campaign. It's called Red Light On and Gaadi Off. So all the cars that are at the red light right now are supposed to switch off their engines for as long as they are on the red lights, which is the signal light that tells them to stop. Now, it also depends on how the people participate in the movement, because the Delhi government has said that it does reduce the air particulate matter and would help in reducing pollution. There have been states, and Delhi government has been complaining that they have been unable to make them stop stubble burning, which has also contributed very highly to the toxic air in the national capital. And Nabila, where I'm standing right now, also near Lodi Road, it's called the green lung of the city. And even here, the air quality is really bad. So if you look at the Safar app here, the air quality near the Major Dhyan Chand Stadium happens to be at around 316. So that is also in the very poor category. The central government has put in place CPCB crackdown teams to help them monitor garbage burning, biomass burning, and to check for construction dust flying around, which also contributes to the severe air. But sadly, none of it seems to have worked, because the air quality continues to worsen even as the temperature has not reduced to as much it does in winter in and around the national capital. So we'll have to wait and see whether or not the Delhi government will be ready to even put in an odd and even scheme.
One can only imagine when the cold kicks in, what's the situation going to be like? Thank you very much. Our reporters there bringing us the on-ground situation. But let's take this to Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, who joins us to give us a small glimpse into how this could really complicate the COVID-19 pandemic that's raging in our country. Delhi, right now, pollution levels have skyrocketed. Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, right now, we're looking at very poor category that Delhi is in. And it's not just Delhi, other metro cities as well across of India. We just gave a lowdown. We were speaking about how every metro city is looking at high pollution levels, considering the lockdown has been lifted. Vehicles are back on the streets. There are several other contributors to pollution levels, including in Chennai, in Bengaluru, for that matter, Mumbai, Delhi. If you can take us through the COVID-19 complications and the way it could aggravate with pollution levels rising.
Good evening, Navla, and good evening all the viewers. I think air pollution has been a scourge or almost most parts of northern India every winter. It's the third most leading cause of precipitating morbidity and mortality, be it the particulate matter, be it the gaseous content in the air, especially in winter, be it the road dust, the construction dust, or the volatile compounds which are carcinogenic. It involves almost every body organ, short-term and long-term, as far as complications are concerned. In this winter, I think as it is, we are at a very critical phase because of COVID-19. But there are 5 points which are critical this year. Point number 1 is it's going to be a huge surge of other viral illnesses in winter, especially the influenza. So it's no longer going to be pandemic. It may actually turn out to be a twindemic. So the other viral infections, huge upsurge in winter, mainly influenza. Point number 2 is during the respiratory illnesses, especially in winter with the fog and the smog, the lungs become more vulnerable to other infections. So therefore, COVID may actually have an upsurge. The third important point is the comorbidities. Now, we know that COPD or other obstructive lung diseases have a 5 to 8% more increased susceptibility towards COVID-19. Point number 4 is in winter, especially the elderly, the vulnerable, and the young children tend to stay indoors. In the recently published data, there is a 19% increased transmission risk as indoor air pollution with an 87% attack rate. And last, most importantly, is the decrease in temperature and change in relative humidity increases COVID spread transmission by 7%. And this is, we know, is at what we call as microaerosol. So in winter, in the cold temperatures, it can remain suspended for a much longer period of time in the air, be it indoors or outdoors.
Right.
If you see in the last 150 years of the 10 major respiratory pandemics, there is a 90% predisposition of the respiratory pandemics during the winter period. So what we need to do is to take absolutely military-type precautions and implementing the law to prevent the pollution, be it the crop burning in the other states or be it the construction activities, the road dust, etc. And I think it's a collective responsibility.
A quick word on what we can do individually to safeguard ourselves, Dr. Bagai. We know that we can't entirely rely on the government. As an individual, how do we protect ourselves considering the pandemic is on?
Yeah, one is do not self-medicate in case you have fever or any illness. Consult your local doctor. The second very important point is do not go into a spree of using unnecessary and combination either painkillers or fever medicines, especially do not abuse irrational use of antibiotics. Third is the vulnerables, especially the ones who had past history of wheezing, bronchitis or asthma, should use the prophylactic inhaler. Next and last important point is indoor air pollution is as lethal as outdoor air pollution.
Right.
Keep the inner environment clean. Make sure that you keep social distancing even indoor, even within your family, and do not neglect symptoms. Even if it is fever, even if it is COVID, there is no stigma. Reach out to the local doctor and you'll remain safe.
Right. Sanjeev Bagai, doctor, thank you very much for joining us with those details, giving us that much needed advice. There you have.
Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.